So I'm gonna go back and sand basically all the railings and do what I should have done at the beginning, which is sand it after we stripped it off, the polyurethane off.
I have a hat on. I shouldn't be in a video.
What, because you have a hat on?
Yeah, it's so bad.
The bottom line is it didn't look good together when you compared sections of the same piece of wood that had been sanded and hadn't been sanded. So
the railings need to be refinished.
the railings need to be refinished, apparently.
How's that better?
We sanded and restained some of the areas on the wood banisters and trim where the stain didn't take evenly. I'm really happy with the way that it turned out. It's tough to see on the camera, but we did this, redid this area, and it's taken the stain darker than the other areas that haven't been stained. I'm sorry, haven't been sanded. It also brings out the grain a little bit more in the areas that have been sanded. So I'm going to do what I probably should have done at the very beginning, and I'm going to go through and sand all of the wood trim pieces, at least on the bottom. We'll take a look at the handrails to see if those need to get done. But I'm just not happy with the contrast and the different ways that the stain took. So I'm going to sand all of those pieces until everything's nice and even, and then restain everything. I think after we stripped the polyurethane off of the railings and the banisters and all that, we were kind of done with the wood for a while. And so we were just trying to get it stained and basically skipped the sanding step.
Which I didn't know we needed to do.
Yeah, I knew we probably should, and I thought we could get away without it. And then
it looked okay.
It did, but there were definitely sections where you could tell more polyurethane got left, and it didn't take the stain real well in those areas. So
it did not.
Basically caused ourselves some extra work, and now we're going to do it right, and then it's going to look great. So
yes.
I can use my multi-tool with the sanding attachment on the flat sections of the railing, but once I get to the curved sections, I have to manually do that with sandpaper. So I'm going to do that right now. I think I'm done sanding with the 80 grit sandpaper to get all the polyurethane off. Now I'm gonna switch to 120 grit sandpaper to smooth everything out. And then after that, we can get to staining. Okay.
The color looks incredible.
Yeah. I think it was the right decision to sand it down. So it looks like now that the wood is all sanded down, there's no polyurethane left. It actually took the second coat over the areas that I didn't re-sand down a little bit darker. Can you see this color difference here? So this part I didn't sand down a second time. This part I sanded down the first time. And if you look, you can see that this section, when I went over it a second time, took the stain again and made it darker. So if you're not happy with these color transitions, after this stain dries, like I can go over it another time and get it closer to the color of the end.
Right now, I think that it looks pretty natural looking.
I have to keep staining.
Oh, sorry. I think it looks pretty natural right now, so we probably won't have to redo it.
We'll take a look at it after it dries. Well, we're probably gonna redo it.
You're such a perfectionist.
We'll see. We're gonna put a second coat. But we'll see.
Right here does seem to be a bit darker.
Yep.
Is this a double?
Yep.
What is it? A double stained area?
Yeah, it's stained twice. Once the first coat dries, we can go over all the areas that have only been stained once, and that should darken them up a little bit, match that a little bit better.
So do you mean you have to sand those areas a second time, or you just have to?
Just go over them with stain a second time.
Oh, that's a lot less work than I thought.
Yeah.
Cool. It's just absolutely stunning. This is the bamboo, which will be going that direction. I don't know why it pulled so red this time. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely did pull a little bit. It brought out more of the red.
What do you think we should do?
No.
Do you like it?
Yeah. I do like it. I think it looks great.
As it dries, I'm sure it'll change too.
Yeah, it needs to dry too, so it'll change a little bit as it dries. I think it'll look a little less red once it dries. So I think we made the same comment the first time. Yeah. And that
This
should be
one's
what it
dry.
dries to, yeah.
It'll look like it's always been there.
I think it'll look great. Terry is not convinced.
No, I'm worried.
It'll be fine. I promise. And if it's not,
We'll redo it.
nope. We'll sell the house.
Okay.
Over the last couple days, we have continued to.
I think that the lighting is not good for my hat. Isn't that better lighting? So Jonah decided that he couldn't handle the little scratches that were on it, and he did make the right decision. So he resanded all of the bottoms of the railings and then restained them, and we've touched them up and we've wiped them down, and now we're ready for the polyurethane.
Finally ready to be done with this stupid project.
I can turn my head around now.
I am so ready to be done with these railings. We've spent so much time on them, and they're finally to the point where I feel comfortable putting the last finishing touches on them with the polyurethane and being done with them. I never want to touch them again.
Yeah, there's nothing else that we could do to make them look better.
If we have to do anything else to them, we're moving out. So here is what the result of all that work that we did on these wood pieces looks like. Enter. What do you think?
What does it say? What do we need to do? Uh-oh.
Special instructions. This polyacrylic finish should not be applied over red mahogany stains.
You're joking.
I'm not.
You're joking.
I'm not.
It actually says that?
Instead, use Minwax fast drying polyurethane or Minwax water-based oil modified polyurethane over any red mahogany stains. So we can't use this.
That is so fitting.
List the house. We're moving.